Want to talk to us? Is anybody here from the Carey house by chance? Or Jackson last night? They broke my cross in Jackson. I had a cross in that rosary and it just disappeared. And the end piece is not broken. It's still an attack loop on there. They were doing weird things last night in Jackson. I had them open my car door because I was kind of on an incline. It was hitting my back. I was putting stuff in there, right? All of a sudden, I feel it move back a few inches and hold there. And there was nobody there. And then all of a sudden, this guy goes, it was Dennis. And Dennis is a new spirit that's been following me.
Ooh.
And I don't know where he's from. I got all these new spirits all of a sudden. The common ones I used to have, I knew by name. They're not coming up. So now I'm getting like Dennis and Ava and some others, Anthony. I don't think Robert's around. I used to hear him. Or Jesse. I like Jesse. Jesse was from Burger King. I'm Prescott.
Really?
He followed me from Burger King, yeah. He would say, I don't like the food there. But I have videos of him, recordings of him saying all kinds of stuff like, hey dude, and I asked if he liked one friend, and he goes, hey hot stuff.
Oh, how funny.
Very clear voices too. Another one named Michael used to follow me from Locke for like the past 3 years. I haven't been hearing him. And Robert's followed me almost 3 years from a witch's house in Diablo Grande. She moved to Oakdale. And he was kind of creepy.
Really?
But he was entertaining, but I haven't heard him in a while. He would call my one friend a whore.
Oh, no.
Although one in Carey house called her a whore too. They were actually saying her name before she came.
Oh,
one of them even said leaving Twainhart or something. Yeah, something like that. Leaving Twainhart. She's from Twainhart.
Oh, wow.
And she was really late too. Yeah, they're like,
They
Christy's coming. Christy's coming. Do you spirits know Christy?
That's interesting. Remember when we were playing with the thing that you suggested we use? Mine said Kristen.
Oh, the ghost radar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to use that, I mean, it spits out relevant words. It did last night.
I was kind of surprised with what I was just like,
I would have it going, but I don't have space on my phone, unfortunately. Who is here with us? Can you light something up again? That little ball, if you could light that up, I'd really appreciate it. I've got these two bigger ones. I think you really have to hit those or do something to them to get them to light up. Those are like dog toys or maybe for autistic kids, I'm not sure. I've got some REM pods you could light up. Some of the motion pyramid over there.
How does this thing work right here?
The spirit box?
Yeah, it does.
It's got an SB7 radio. I prefer this over apps. I don't trust the apps. A lot of them have pre-programmed voices or phonetic sounds.
Yeah.
And they get repetitive. So I don't like the fact I'm hearing the same sound. It's like Zach on this one Spiritus app is always Zach. And then the guy's wife's name. I hear her on there too. Carissa. However, it does work. It's just kind of hard to tell what's what. I like this better. It mostly makes white noise. I mean, you can possibly get radio. Wendy? Who's Wendy? And we get really clear voices sometimes and full sentences.
That would be nice.
Which is awesome, because the apps you get like one word.
Yeah.
This thing we get full sentences. And I've had people recognize their loved ones or friends that have passed on.
Really?
So they recognize their voice. The apps, you don't get that.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like whatever the three, you know, male, female, generic. But the portal itself cleans up some of the white noise. I leave a little bit. I don't use much echo. And I've tried buying similar ones and they don't sound the same. It's mostly this one. And even this SB7, I have several of these and this one sounds the best. And I don't understand it, but it's like they did something to it or has attachments or something. And it's hard to explain. These are even certain devices here they like better. Some of the ones they really liked are broken now, unfortunately.
It's a bush.
And they really like to mess with these. I've had them turn off the notepads, turn them back on. Sometimes they even say no videoing or no camera at some locations I've been to. Not so much here. However, here I had one guy, a young guy with his friends, and he kept talking on his phone, right? So I told the spirit shut off his phone just to see if they do it. Twice they did it. And then one time they said what his girlfriend was saying to him on the phone. It was really personal and random. I don't remember what it was, but he freaked out and left.
Oh, wow. All right, you can see some really cool
And the
stuff.
cemetery, I've asked the spirits to touch people, and they've done it.
But yeah, not so much.
By the Gallow graves they did it. And then this new location I'm really loving by MJC West Campus. Somebody told me from out of state that it used to be a World War II hospital called Hammond, and he sent me a picture. So I know he wasn't full of shit. And I remember those buildings being there not very long ago. They tore them down. It's a parking lot now. And I've been getting all kinds of voices. All kinds of voices. And they do light up the REM pods and whatnot. And they're okay with us being there till 11, although the one guy let us stay past 11. But if we want to go there, we have to get there before 11.
The cemetery?
No, MJC. Cemetery, we can go anytime.
He's been getting stuff at MJC West.
Another location I haven't been to, I've been wanting to go, but not alone. I don't know if you saw my message about the Ripon Park and the walking bridge. Somebody on the tour last night who lives in Ripon, she's got something demonic in her home. Said there were Indians that were massacred there by another Indian tribe. I was thinking it was like the Mexicans or the Americans that came. No, it was Indian battles.
They used to have
battles. Mexicans fought them too along the rivers, even in Riverbank and Knights Ferry.
Knights Ferry.
But I had already heard that area was haunted, so I wasn't too surprised when she said that.
Knights Ferry, have you done?
Yeah, it's hard doing a tour there because everything closes early. The state park doesn't like me being there and the investigating.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, they said you have to get a license, it has to be historical, and one guy goes, oh, they wouldn't approve it, so I was like, I'm not going to bother. The ice cream shop is haunted, but then they told me I need to get insurance. It's like, what? We're only there for 30 minutes, we're buying food. Do you make everybody else buy insurance that comes here and eats ice cream? I mean, it's just so stupid. It was the landlord doing it, not the actual. But I was posting that as a meeting spot, and I think that was the problem. But it's like, where else do I post? And then the other bad thing is the cemetery closes at 5. And I was there one time with friends, and they had somebody new lock up. And I don't know how they didn't see our cars, but we got locked in for a long time. And then they finally had the fire department come cut the bolts. And they were all laughing at us.
Did you hear about
What wreck?
It said, did you hear about the wreck?
There's always a wreck around here. What wreck? Did somebody just die? Who died? There's another memorial a little further down. I haven't been to that one. That one's actually really close to my house. Yeah, there's been a lot of bad accidents around here.
People haul through here.
They do. They do. And this street's kind of dark.
Yeah.
Rumble. But I've heard of homeless people dying in the park over there too.
Oh yeah.
And there was one lady that went on Modesto tour when we weren't meeting over there, and she wanted to make sure we didn't go to the park because she said her husband was murdered there, and his body was found on the lawn.
Oh goodness gracious.
And that wasn't that many years ago. The other park I've been to is Everett, but there's usually homeless people in the bathroom. And a couple of them I know, and they asked for money, and it's just, so I was helping them for a while, but it got to be too much. But they were telling me about a satanic guy that would come out there, and I, it's like, yeah, right. I saw him a few times going out there. One time in full robe, and he had a dagger, and he was dragging along the concrete and stuff, intimidating us. And then we finally moved away from the bench. He sat on the bench and glared at us. He apparently told the girlfriend, the homeless couple's girlfriend, he wanted her blood for like a ritual. And he would put stuff in the bathroom, like spray paint stuff, and the city would blame them for it. And it's like, it's not us doing it. But apparently he wanted to conjure the spirit of another woman who I know, this is a true story from staff because I work with the school district. It was a mentally ill woman that went on Everett School campus with a meat cleaver. Have you heard of that story? Oh, that was several years ago. It might be about 8 now, 7, 8 years ago. Chopping herself all bloody and trying to get in the classrooms. One teacher told me she had to close her door really quick as she tried to get in her room. And she went to the back of the school where the cafeteria is. There were kindergartners eating. She wouldn't put her weapon down, so the cops shot her dead. Those kindergartners saw it. And I talked to one in junior high years later, and she still remembered it. So I don't know if that woman is still there. I think we get other spirit voices there. I just don't go over there because of the homeless people, so.
Here, we're sitting down and talking. See what happens. Just gotta.
Also, Downey Park is haunted. There's a sheriff that was killed in the 80s there, somebody told me about. I don't go there because there's a lot of EMF from the lights. So.
Oh.
But it was active. We got a lot of voices and they were unfriendly. They did not want us there. Like, get out, leave. That's very common anyways. Jessup?
Say it again.
Jesse or Jessup? Can you speak louder, please, and slower? And if you could light up something. That's not like you said demon. We were getting something evil here months back, like several months back. They would talk about a witch doing a curse and something demonic and the devil they talked about, but that's been a while. It's mostly been friendly ones lately. Except for one tour, there was some people they didn't like. And the spirits in the cemetery were telling, actually they were doing it here too, saying get out,
Really?
we don't want you here. And there was one full-on sentence of a lady when I was in my car moving to the other side of the cemetery. She's like, I want you and all your friends to go away. And I found out one of the girls had a Ouija board. I don't know if that was it, but she was wanting to use it, but I didn't say no. I was like, I just prefer not to.
Can you touch the bear? Can you say something? Because you got really
I think a lot of
quiet.
it's Hollywood, stigma against it, but
You hear the fireworks?
you guys are kind of quiet.
Really quiet. It's like y'all left.
Is Alejandro here? Or Megan?
Interesting how they pick up.
And I don't know the murdered lady's name offhand. Can you light something up, please? Because we're not going to stay very long. Radio?
Yeah, so I heard radio.
They were doing that last night. They're going, it's the radio. I've heard it's the radio talking.
Come on, give us something big.
What do you think? Intrigue?
A little bigger.
Speak up, please.
A little bit more. Full sentence.
Is Coach Emerson here? Or Mr. Quick? I don't even know if Mr. Quick's alive.
Just a full sentence. Close. I don't know what you said. That was music.
Who's here? Is Coach Emerson around?
You want to switch and sit for a minute?
I could move
No.
some stuff if you want to sit over here.
I'm fine. I don't know.
Oh, that's me, I think, setting that one off.
Boy, that's sensitive.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Can you do that?
Can you light up the bears or this vibration ball, the little clear ball again? Saw you do it earlier.
Pretty please?
I know you don't like flashes on cameras, but Can you light up that little ball I'm shining the light on?
Able to make.
Able to. Was that not able to, or you're able to?
Able to. Let's go for it.
Can you please do it? There are a lot of people walking around tonight. Are there any kids here in Spirit? Usually we don't get kids. You'd think we would with it being a high school, but... Come on, light up that ball with the teddy bear. Can you do it?
Yeah, it's baseball.
You're hearing fireworks?
Yeah.
I thought it was in traffic.
Come on, you got this.
Come on, guys, do something.
Pretty please. Pretty please.
Can you play with some of the devices?
Pretty cool. Actually, really cool.
This one cemetery, this one cemetery I went to last night before the Jackson tour in Campo Seco. They go, "We're ghouls."
Ew. We're ghouls?
Yeah, we're ghouls. I don't like that term. It's like, what does that mean? Are you saying you're evil?